let's go. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me for this fabulous Quirky Bird class, and thank you for buying the collection too, it's very much appreciated. So you will have seen on TV that I've done the Rain and Shine Merchants, which I think is super cute. It works perfectly independently, but it also works with the old Curiosity Shop collection too. So it's like a little add-on, and it's kind of a collection of two halves really, but they all work together. So I'm going to start by teaching you how to build one of the little shops up from the decoupage dies. Then we're going to go into a couple of little jars, and then we're going to use the envelopes as well. So it's going to kind of encompass everything that was on the show. So print off your reflections. Remember, actual size are 100%, not fit to page. And I've just cut this page in half, so you get two of these on one sheet. And I'm just going to position this die here. I love the fact that we have Swift technology, because I wouldn't be doing dies like this if we didn't, because it's hard work taping all those little bits down. So we're going to position these two in place. Now, my tip is, when you're using tape, don't be mean with it. I know it's a cost, and I know we don't like buying tape because it's boring, but it is, you can use it over and over and over again. So the way I find it easier to do it is to tape right across like that, and I'll do one in the middle, and then I'll do one at the bottom as well. So then what I'll do is I'll turn this on its side so it's closer to the edge. I'll definitely use Cut Tidy because that really helps. And then we're just going to run it through our die cutting machine. And normally I have everything cut, but I wanted to just show you exactly the process that we go through, because we find that every time we bring Quirky Bird to the channel, we get new customers, which is lovely because their brand's building. And we're not coming away from tins completely at all. We're still going to continue with the tins, but we are going for doing more for card makers as well, because that was what we were asked for. So you can use everything that we bring you can use in tins or for card making. I think that's probably the best way of saying what I'm trying to say, rather than using a million words. It's full on at the moment because we're, well, we've got one room open from our training academy, which is upstairs at Highlight Crafts, and we're already teaching classes on a regular basis, but we're in the transition of trying to build the room sets in the warehouse while trying to keep the warehouse running, while trying to keep up with all the shows and the classes. So it's a little bit crazy. So I feel like I'm on a little bit of a hamster wheel at the moment that's going faster and faster every day, but it's fun. So I'm not complaining. It's just a little bit madness. Right, so I'm going to tip out and place all these little pieces out here so that we know exactly what we're doing and in what order. And I love the artwork of this artist. So as many of you know, we use a bank of artists from around the world that upload their artwork, and then we can buy the commercial license for them. So we buy the commercial license so that we can sell it on to you, and also so that you can sell it on to your customers if that's what you do. So you can rest assured that that's all done properly, as it should be. And I spotted this artist, and it's the same one that did the old Curiosity Shop. So when I saw this, I thought, oh, this is just lovely and it will work perfectly. But what Lauren's done, she's a little superstar, that young lady, I tell you, is she's done, I think, 8 different colourways. So you could have a whole street of the Rain and Shine Merchants and just have them in all different colours in one long picture frame across your wall, and I think that would look fabulous. So there are also going to be a couple of sentiments. And the reason that I chose this image in particular was when I was working with Bramwell Yarns, which feels like a lifetime ago now. Alison and I went to Spring Fair at the NEC, and we walked around, and there was this handbag stall, and there was a handbag that had like houses on and clouds and sunshines and umbrellas. It was really lovely. And the sentiment on it was, I like people who smile when it's raining. And Alison looked at me and she went, you have to buy that, because you would smile all the time, whether it's raining, thundering, hot weather, whatever it is, you always seem to be quite positive. So I bought the handbag. And then when I saw this, that reminded me of it. So I thought, right, we'll have that sentiment. So we have a sentiment that says, I like people that smile when it's raining. And we also have a sentiment that says life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. it's about learning to dance in the rain. And I like that sentiment too. So they're both available as a download for you. So I've got all my little pieces now. So I need my pin flare glue gel. This is your complete composition. Now this is cool because if you don't want the complete composition, you can just work on this part. Or if you like this but you don't want the sunshine, you can cut the sunshine away. If you like this but you don't like all the clouds, you can cut some of the clouds away. And you could also cut all the clouds and the sun away, but keep this part of it and this part, and then this will be a second layer. So you've got lots of options within this one image. So what I'm going to do is just put some pin flare glue gel on the back of here and a little bit onto the umbrellas. And I'm just going to start building this up. And I tend to look at one point to start with. So I'm looking at the Wellington boots down here. And then everything else will just kind of slot into place. And don't put the glue gel on and then put this on and then press it firmly. You need that glue gel to stay raised. So just be gentle as you're building up your glue. You could do them all flat if you wanted to. You won't get the same depth with it, obviously. But if that's the look that you like, then absolutely. And you also don't have to use all the layers if you don't want to. But we give you as many as we can so that you can make your choice. So the next bit I'm going to put on is this roof bit. And some of these pieces are nice and quite large actually. I know we come to some smaller ones later on, but we actually sell reverse tweezers on our website. They come in the Craftmaster toolkit and they're quite good. They're not super pointy at the end, but for holding things, they're nice and strong. So if you find that easier, that might be something that you would like to look at. And then I'm going to pop this on top of here. I love this. I love building these up. I did a class, a face-to-face class the other week with this, and one lady, Joanne, just spent all day making these little houses up. I said, you're not going to make anything else? She's like, no, I just love it. She did make some jars. And they were all beautiful because everybody did their own thing, and everybody's was different, and it was just lovely to see. Right, so I've got the foreground more or less done. This extra little piece goes here, but you could also tuck it underneath there if you wanted to and hide it behind that umbrella. So you've got another little extension going on at the side. And we've also done a nested set of these. They don't have all the detail that these do, but as background fillers, they're fabulous. And again, they're all in those different colours. I'm glad we're doing more and more colourways because it completely changes the look and feel. And it means that, you know, you don't exhaust a dye collection. You can just keep going back and changing the colour. So then this layer is going to go in there. This is why I like using tweezers because I can just push it into place. Then I've got the little roof that goes right at the top of the house. Like that. Love it. Love it, love it. And then you've got this one, which comes a little bit further down. So when we buy the artwork, what Lauren does then is break it down into different sections and creates the die, and then puts all the detail lines in, the cut lines in. So it's quite a process, really, but it's well worth it, I think. And I'm so pleased that you've loved these little shops because it means we can do more. We've got Christmas after this one, and I have to say Christmas is rather special. It's very cute, very, very cute. And then later on in the year, we're doing a seaside collection because the artwork for the seaside one is just beautiful. And I love that. I love the fact that you can, you know, just change the shop and it changed the look and feel. And I've missed that little bit out of my die because we've got one last umbrella just to go onto here. So we've got that then just sits out there like that. So I'm going to move that to one side to dry. I'm not going to lift it up yet. I'm going to find one that's already dry for you so I can show you the depth and dimension that you've got. I'm going to bring in my little pick and mix box. Look at these. Look at all these different colours. So we've got purple. You can see the depth and dimension there that you get. Look, all the way around. Isn't that super cool? So we've got a purple one. We've got a yellow one. We've got a turquoise one. We've got more of a pinky red one. We've got an orange one. We've got a fuchsia pink. We've got the original one, which is the orange red one. We've got a green one, and we've got a royal blue one. And I think that's all the colours. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different colours. Imagine those all in one long row along a long, slim box frame. They would look absolutely fabulous. But aren't they cool? I love them. I think they're so cute. So yeah, those are what I was making over the weekend, which is fab. Just sat and cut a load of stuff out and then played. Right, so pop those out of the way. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is these jars, just while that house dries. So I'm going to bring in the jars. Now there's a little tip with the jars. I'm just going to grab one of the reflections because it confused me at first until Lauren explained to me what she'd done. It doesn't take much at the moment to confuse me, I have to say. Oh dear. Right, so you've print off your sheet of reflections and you have your dies for your jars. Now, I'm going to talk you through the dies first of all. So you have the outside edge, which is that one. Oh, found my black card, bear with. So you've got that one. Then you've got the one that's got the lid and the detail in. And then you've got a third one that you can cut out of a pretty patterned paper if you want to put a label on your jar, okay? So you get 3. But the bit that confused me was when I came to cut these jars out, so I want to explain to you so it's not confusing for you. So you've got the largest jar on the sheet, and for that one, you use the outside edge, and that positions there like that. So you can use it as your card blank, but you also use it to cut out the largest size of the jar. And then you've also got the next one down, which is the one with the lid that cuts the next size down. And it works with that on all the sizes as you go down through the different jars. So I was looking for a larger one like this to cut this out, and it's not. It's the one that's the outline, if you like. So every die is relevant when you're building up your jars. So I just wanted to show you that because that's important, because I sat there scratching my head. In fact, and then I went up to Lauren, I went, Lauren. And every time I walk in, she gives me this look of, oh, what now? I'm like, it's all right, it's nothing wrong. I just need you to explain this. So it works perfectly. She's made it the right job, right decision. So I've got a couple of jars here. I've got the larger one and then I've got the next one down. And then you get all sorts of different ones. So you've got different sizes. I haven't put all these into my box yet. So I need to sort this out a bit more, but you can see I've just put them in bags this time. So I could use a smaller jar for one if I wanted to. You've got like tall, slim, almost like test tube ones, which I think are really nice. A bit more modern maybe. So it's up to you which ones you use, but I'm going to choose a slightly smaller one as well, I think. So we'll have one larger one and one smaller one. That's perfect. Right, I'll pop those 2 away. Well, I'll use these 2. Will I use that one? No, I'll use these. Decisions. I'm actually quite good at making decisions now because I have to be. Because I have to think on my feet, we work that fast. Right, so I've got, I don't even think they're the same size, are they? No, Melanie, they're not. You know that hamster wheel I was talking about? When I'm on it and I'm running faster day by day, yeah, this is what happens. Right, we'll have those 2. And pop that one back in the bag. Right. So I've got 2 the same size. Now, if I take my flowers, for example, and start to put these behind here, they don't look like they're inside the jar. And then if I stick them on top of each other, that doesn't work either. So what we're going to do is take one of the jars and I'm just going to snip away what I would call the inside of the jar. So where it looks like it's blue, just snip that little bit away. Okay, so you're just left with that little kind of oval bit. And then the best way I've found to do this is to get your pinfly glue gel and go across where that lid is there, but not right to the top, and then put another row directly underneath it. And don't be stingy with your glue, okay? You need to have enough glue on there to make it hold. And then you're going to run it down like that, round, just a little bit in the middle. But this bit is the important bit, because then when I put this on here, like that, I can tuck my flowers inside there and they then stick into the glue, which is brilliant. So I'm going to bring in some of my larger flowers. So you get 2 sets of the flower dies. They're the same flowers, but you get them in a large and a small. So you've got nice variation in the sizes of your flowers. So I'm going to start with that one there. And I'm not pushing them right in. I'm just kind of positioning them where I want them to be. And then I can move them around as I build up my composition. And the reason that I use glue gel rather than foam is that I can tuck it in. You can use foam if you want to, but you'll build up your flowers first. You'll put foam tape across here on the base layer, take the backing off, stick your flowers on, and then put the rest on top. But I quite like using Pinfly glue gel because it just does everything I need it to do. So I'm going to pop another one out. Try not to get any coming out like this, because if you do, I'll show you what I mean. If I do that, it looks weird because it looks like it's not coming out of the inside of the jar. But you can tuck it in and then just widen it out a little bit like so. Then I'm going to find some other flowers. So let's start with what they look like little buttercups to me. I like these little ones because these are nice for filling in. So I'm going to pop one there and I'm just shaping it a little bit with my tweezers. And I'm going to pop another one there. And then I'm going to bring a little bit of yellow into the centre. So I'm going to put another little buttercup in the middle here. And I'm aware that this might need to come up a little bit further. And then I'm going to tuck that one in front of it like that. So I've got my 3 little buttercups. Pull that one out a little bit. And my daisies. And then I'm going to go into my smaller flowers now. So I'm going to start to tuck some smaller ones in. I'm just going to grab a handful of these and put them out on the desk because I've cut loads of them. But the great thing is they're swift. Thank goodness. Otherwise, there's no way I would be sticking down little teeny tiny bits. It would drive me crazy. Right, so I'm going to put that one in there. And I'm going to put another one the same over here. So I've got my little composition going on here. And you're just building your own little bouquet, which is lovely. I'm just going to take that out and I'm going to put a little bit of glue gel on the back of that because I need that one slightly higher up. So to do that, if you think, oh, I need a bit more height, instead of pushing it into the glue, put the glue behind the flower and then you can start to manoeuvre it around a little bit. Okay, so what else do I need? I think I need some, let's have a look what else we've got. Got some fabulous little things in here. Reds, where's my little red bits gone here? Oh, these are nice too, these little buds. So curving this, I think we've done about 4 colourways, 3 or 4 different colourways with the flowers as well, which are really nice. We've got some lovely pinks and some lilacs, and the little girls that we're going to use later on, we've got those as well. We've got those in different colourways, so everything coordinates. Lauren's done a really good job on doing all the different colours this time. So yeah, if you want to download those, you can. There is a cost to them, but the first original colourway is always free, and then after that we just put a nominal fee on it, and you can download them and save them to your computer. And then depending on what colour you're into that day, you can decide what you're going to do. So I've got these lovely little red flower heads here, and I'm going to pop a couple of these in because it will just bring all the lovely colours together. And now what I'm doing now, because this is quite full, I'm just putting a little bit of Pinflair just on the bottom of those flowers. Okay, now this jar is quite tall and the flowers aren't tall enough for me yet. So what we do is we'll let that dry first of all. So you make sure you let that dry before you do this next bit. And the next bit is I'm going to bring some of these daisies in. Now these are from the small set. And I'm just going to pop one over the front like that so it covers up all that glue and it just looks like the flower heads bending over a little bit. The other tip is when you turn it over, just make sure you get all the little landlocked areas out because it makes your flowers look a bit more detailed. And I think that's important. It makes them look a little bit, I mean, they're not meant to look realistic, to be fair. They're meant to look quirky. But you can, you know, do the best that you can to make them look the best that they can be. So we've now got our little flower, and I'm going to shape these petals like this. And as I'm shaping it, I'm just holding the top of the yellow, the centre, I'm holding it, and then I'm just going to lift this up. And those petals will naturally want to just bend up around that centre. So I'm going to turn this over. Okay, so I'm going to turn this right over like this, and I'm going to stick this to the back because that will then give me some height. So I'm going to put my glue gel the bottom of the centre, and I'm going to press this. I'm going to lift it up higher, and I'm just going to press it down, and then gently, this is why I say leave it to dry, I'm going to turn it over, and that gives me a little bit more height and width to my jar. So I'm just going to settle that down a little bit like that. Pull these flowers out slightly to the side and just rearrange or just move about the bits that I've done, and I'm quite happy with that. Let's see if we've got anything else. I say that, see, I do this all the time, and I go, I'm quite happy with that, and then carry on. I've always done that, especially with chocolate. I always say, have you had enough of that chocolate now? I'm like, yeah, just have one more piece. Yeah, then before I know it, the jar's gone, or the bar's gone. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever give chocolate up. It's too nice. Right, and then I'm going to pop a little thistle behind here. So a little red thistle can just tuck in there. And you can push it down far enough so it looks like it's coming from underneath, from the rest of the flowers. Because they don't have long stems, you can make it work, which I like too. And it's just a different thing for you to learn too. Right, I need to find another thistle, and I know there must be at least 3 more because I cut 4 sets. There we go. So I would have, when we taught the class with this, we did a class at the academy. I got all the lovely ladies cutting out all their die cuts in the morning, and then we built everything in the afternoon, and they found it much easier to create their compositions because they had everything in front of them, which was really good. Right, the other thing that we've got is a set of tags. So if you bought the complete collection, you'll have got these tags, and they come in lots and lots of different sizes, and they have 2 different sizes of holes that you can die cut into them if you want to. But I thought this would be quite nice to put some on here, and I'm just going to take, am I going to do it on here? Yeah, I am. I'm just going to take a brown marker. And I've just got an ink lily pen here, but just an inexpensive alcohol marker will do, or just a regular marker, but you need something that's got a flat edge really. And then I'm just going to run it round. You could do it with your brain, Melanie, engage. You could do it with your ink. You can do it with your ink, or you can do it with your pen, whichever you've got. Right, so I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on there. So this is the hole that I've cut out of a different tag that I'm going to use on the next jar that we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to grab this. And what I like to do is take the tag and take the string and place the string over there so it looks like it's kind of coming off like this rather than like that. You could have it like that if you wanted to, and it would look nice. But I quite like the idea of it being positioned kind of coming down here. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue round that circle, just there. And then I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to position that over there like so. And you could write a little sentiment on there if you wanted to, like that. And then I'm going to just lift that daisy up there, and I'm going to just pop that underneath there, I think. So we can pop that there. Super cute. Super, super cute. So that's our little tag in place as well. So if you're, if you're going visiting people, or you just want to send people flowers, but you don't want to have fresh flowers, then, you can do that. So I'm going to move that tag. I'm going to make the bigger one. Sorry, this is what I do. I change my mind all the time because I've got a smaller jar. The smaller tag will be better on the smaller jar. So I'm going to do the larger tag for this. At the beginning when I said I was quite good at making decisions, I think I've just taught myself out with that. So I'm going to use the brush end of this. Now, don't do this very often because that will be sharp inside there because it's paper. But I can't think of another way really of getting into that little bit, unless you use like a cotton bud and some ink, I guess. And then I'm just going to go around the edge. And then you could use a brown or a warm grey with this because there's both in the flowers themselves. So let's glue that one in place. I'll come back to the other one after. But I just thought this might be nicer. So again, a little bit of glue around there. And I'm just going to pop that over there, like so. And then I'm going to put this one on there like that. Right, perfect. Happy with that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue gel. Just because it's at hand, I can take that daisy off. I can put the tag there. And then the little flower can go over the top like that. Okay, happy with that. Right, so we've got that jar there. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now. We'll come back and do a little bit more on it later. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And while that's drying, we'll do a smaller version. So I'm going to just, again, trim away that blue bit at the top. Put my pin flare glue gel on, like this. And all these little elements are going to end up inside one of the envelope dies. So it will be a lovely welcome to your new home card. It would look fabulous for that, I have to say. That would be a really nice thing to send. In fact, that's what we'll aim for. Okay, so we'll aim to make a good look in your new home card. So I'm going to pop these little flowers in here. And this is just lovely. It's like flower arranging with pieces of card. It's delightful. I love doing stuff like this. If I ever retire, I think I might sit and just make cards to sell. Do you know what I mean? I just have that sheer joy of just creating something. I think is just wonderful. I can't imagine doing anything better for a job. I don't think I could do anything else for a job, to be fair. I don't think I'm qualified for anything else. I'm not sure that I'm qualified for this, but I do it. So we're going to go in with our buttercups again. I don't think you need qualifications to become a crafter, really, do you? You just need to love what you do. Right, so buttercup. Oh. These tweezers that I bought are from Sizzix and they're absolutely brilliant unless you drop them on the floor and stand on them and bend them, which is exactly what I've done. I need to buy myself some more. I keep saying that and then I keep forgetting. So I must remember to buy some more because they are very good. And then I've got my little daisies. I'm just going to add a little bit of extra glue onto these so I can keep them a little bit higher like this. And then we'll take another daisy. And I think, you know, if you buy fresh flowers from a supermarket or a florist and they're not arranged for you, it's just like putting them in a vase, really. That's all you're doing. But it's a paper vase rather than a glass vase, I guess. It's just fun, you know. It's just fun, and crafting should be exactly that. You shouldn't be getting stressed about it or worked up about it or is mine better than hers or all that malarkey that goes on. It's just about enjoying it. And people always say, when do you know when it's finished? And I'm kind of like, well, when you're happy with it, really. You know, if you're happy with what you've created and you like it, then it's finished. It's that simple. There's no other rhyme or reason to it, I don't think. I do want another one of these larger ones there with this. I'm going to pull that one out that I put in before because I'm not going to waste that. Oh, tweezers, Melanie, I tell you. And then I'm going to put that one at the front. So I'm going to just pull that one round because I need a little bit more height on this side. I'm going to tuck that in there. Like that. Just pull those around a little bit, and then I just want my little red bits in. So the two vases are quite similar, but that's all right because they're going on the same project. It doesn't matter. I don't get all worried about stuff like that. I just make it, and when I'm happy, that's it. So I'm going to pop that into there, like that. Lay it down and then tuck it underneath. Go on, Heaton. There you go. So if you talk to it nicely, sometimes it works. If you tell it off, it gets a bit scared and it just goes in. Right. Let's pop that little bit in there. There we are. Right, and then I'm just going to press that down and hold that in place. So that's my little one. And then I'm going to put my little tag on here. Okay, so I'm going to position this on there, like that. Right, I'm going to put that one to one side for a minute to dry, or start to set at least. And I'm going to bring the envelopes back in, or in for the first time, should I say. So these are, I love these. These are the envelope dies. There was a whole set of lots of different sizes within the collection. And I love this because it looks like old paper. I think I just think it looks fabulous. So I'm going to do a little bit of building up with this. So I'm going to snip this bit out here. So I'm going to follow those cut lines like that. Then I'm going to go right down to that diagonal line there. And then when I hit that diagonal line, I'm going to come up to the top, to the point. Then I'm going to go down the other side. And then I am going to snip this up here. So we're going to cut that up there. Just following those cut lines like that. So I've now got this part of the envelope that I can decoupage. But when I did that first time, I thought, well, that makes a really fabulous quirky heart. This would be really nice tucked in your envelope with your sentiment on or your message on. I think that would work really nicely. So you're kind of getting a little bit of a twofer there. I think that's quite nice. So to do this, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to use some foam tape. I'm not going to use my glue gel for this because I won't get it the same height all the way around. So I'm just going to put some tape along the bottom edge, like so, and then cut that off. And then I'm going to put a little bit up each side, like that. And when you get to the top here, just let your foam relax a little bit and then cut it on a diagonal. So you get a little bit right towards the top, and if you've got any excess showing, just go in and on an angle, just trim it back. And then you can do the same this way. So just let the foam relax a little bit. Just pull it back slightly and then cut it on a diagonal, and that will mean that you've got foam where your points are at the top of the envelope. And you don't need any more tape than that, because if you start putting too much on round here, you can't then tuck the little jars inside. And that's kind of the plan. That's kind of where we're heading. So I'm going to take the backing off this. Doing quite well with this backing today. Oh, spoke too soon, you see. Melanie, learn your lesson. Don't preempt stuff like that. It never works out. I'm going to take my marker pen again as well. And I like doing this because it just adds a little bit extra detail and it separates those layers a little bit more. So right into that point. Just be aware that when you've die cut card, it's exposed the fibres. And I know that sounds strange because you'd think, well, the fibres are there all the time, Melanie. But it's a raw edge, as I would call it. And sometimes if you use too much ink, it can bleed a little bit. I'm not too worried on this because this is kind of old anyway. It looks like a vintage envelope. I'm just going to put some wet glue on here, just in case I don't get it straight first time, which is a high probability. There we go. So we've now got our envelope. Okay, so you could still put things in it because it's sealed at the bottom, but you've got that extra layer, if you like, as well. Right, so let's decide what we're going to do with this. So I've also got a blue envelope because we did them, this is the original colourway. We also did them in blue and in a pink, which is nice. And you could do the same with this, actually. I wonder if I've got another. I have another blue one. So I'm going to make this the same, but I'm not going to use foam tape this time. So I'm going to cut down here, like that. I'm going to come round and up here, like that, back down, and then back up. Now, just like that, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to snip it right to that cut line rather than the ink line. If you end up with any little pips like this, please cut them off. Because if you don't, that's the only thing the people will see, because it drives me crazy, pips. Can't be doing with them. Then you go up one side, across the bottom, and up the other side. So that's all the glue that you need, because then it won't be as deep as the other one, but you'll still be able to pop something inside it if you want to, which I think is rather lovely. So we've got that. I'm going to position that just on here. So I would then cut, in fact, I'm going to do it right now because I've got another one cut. You can then use this also as your card base. So if I just, please do this, I'm going to turn the black card over. Please do this with a bone folder or a scoreboard. Please don't do what I'm going to do now. If you're going to do it properly. I've just forgotten to bring mine in. So I'm going to use the back of my tweezers. Stephanie and I are terrible for this. We grab whatever's closest to us because we're always busy. We kind of grab what's closest to us and make do. But that then, oh, lost my little welly boots off my house. Put that back on there. There we go. I'm going to glue the top part of the envelope, so the flap, and I'm going to glue that to the back of here. And then that will be my card base as well. Now you could just do it with a white one. You don't need to use another printed one. It's a bit of a waste, to be honest, but that's how your card will then stand up like that. Okay, so we've got our card base out of this as well. So then I'm going to pop my other envelope on here, and I'm just going to stick this on flat with some bookbinding glue, and I'm going to put it on a little bit of a quirky angle. I don't do that very often. I don't do wonky very often. That's quite unusual for me. And then I'm going to bring back in my little jar here. And I think I'm going to have that. Let's have a look. How shall I have this? I think I might tuck this into, oh, that's nice. I can tuck that into the envelope. So just that back part there. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Right, let's see if we've got any little girls to decorate this with. We have. So we've got our little girls. They haven't got any wings. Everyone was calling them fairies when we taught the class, and they could be if you wanted them to do. But the little flower girls, because the dresses are all made from a flower head. Aren't they just super? I love these. And she's just going to be merrily dancing across there. So we'll put her in place. This is super cute. I'm going to just pop her there for now. And then I'm going to add my bigger vase in next. So I'm going to do the same thing with this, I think. Or shall I just put that one? No, I'm going to tuck it in because it looks nice tucked in. So I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a, there we go, open it up a little bit. It's better if you decide this before you start. But that doesn't work for me. Right, so I'm going to pop that one over there. So I've got them on a wonky angle like this. So let's see what else we've got. We need some more flowers. You could, oh, this might be quite cute. Let me see if I've got the house that's dry, this one. You could pop that in the middle there, and you could have good luck in your new home on there. That's quite nice. You could pop it further up and tuck it into the envelope if you wanted to. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's quite cute too. That looks quite full. So I might pop it on the front, I think, like that. I don't know. Let me decorate the vases first. I'll have a think about it. I do this all the time. Oh, I know what I've got. I've got some balloons. So you can pop the balloons behind the vases like that. So it looks like a proper celebratory. This will be a lovely birthday card. And you could pop it in one of the boxes. You know, make a little box and pop it in, or wrap it in tissue and tie a bow around it so it becomes a gift as well as a card. That's super cute. Every time it's Father's Day or my husband's birthday, the kids always buy him a balloon and he refuses to throw them away. So we've got random balloons all over the house, in vases, all over the place. And then I've got some little heart balloons in here as well. So I want to add a little bit more around here. So let me decide now whether I'm going to put this house in. I do quite like that. I think it's really nice. And the sentiment could be rain or shine. I don't know. You will always be my friend, whatever it is. Because I think if you've got a proper friend, you know, a proper friend that stays with you right through your life, no matter what you both go through, you're always there for each other, aren't you? So I'm going to put her here because she's the opposite of her in the smaller version. you could just have the vase by itself. You could have the envelope with a few flowers coming out. You could have the shop by itself. It's up to you. It's your style. And that's what I like about Quirky Bird. We give you these different elements and you create your style with them. So I'm going to start filling this with a few of these flowers now. So I'm going to pop that in there, and I'm just going to get some of the petals coming over that edge. There we go, that's better. So I've got one there. Let's see if we can slot one in there. Yeah, that'll work. So slot another one in here, and again I'm just curving those petals and then just go in and pull them forward a little bit. You can have another one down there, that's nice, like that. That one I'm going to stick on flat, and I'm going to just poke out those little landlocked areas. Please try and do that, because it does make the flower look a little bit different than if you leave them in. It gives a little bit more detail, a little bit less solid, so that's nice. And I'm just going to see if I can get away with a smaller one. So I've got my triangle, and I'm just going to pop that there. That works perfectly. There you go, that tucks in there. So I want a little bit of height up here. So let's see if what we've got left. I've got the, well, say what we've got left. I could just cut some more if I needed to, couldn't I, really? Because you're just going to go and print some more off and die cut some more. Yeah, I like that. I like that little bit of height that it gives. I'm going to pop another one of those if I've got one. Yes, I have. Behind here. Like that. And then you could put your little sentiment in there if you wanted to. In fact, let's have a look what else we've got. Oh, I've got some bunting. That might be quite nice. Yeah, I'm not, if you haven't seen me before and this is the first video you're watching, I'm not a less is more kind of girl. Just in case you hadn't noticed from this card. I just think when you've got all this lovely goodies, as long as it doesn't become ridiculous, well, I say that, it could quite easily become ridiculous. But I do quite like just adding in the extra little bits. Oh yeah, that's nice. Another little bit of bunting that just fills in that space. I like that. But it could be as well. I'll show you the finished samples that I've done for this, and you'll see that you can go from this kind of level of design to something really simple, and both look lovely. So I'm going to just get rid of that little stray bit there, which will drive me mad. Excuse fingers. There you go. And then I'm going to stand it up so you can see it from the front. So you've got your little envelope inside. So if I open this up, you can see the inside's got the envelope in as well. So you could snip into that bit there and pop your little note inside. So it's a completely different. That would fit in a square envelope. So leave it to dry and that would fit nicely in that square envelope. Just spotted a little bit of space that I'm not happy with. So I've got some little butterflies, because I can't have that. That will drive me crazy. Every time I look at it, that's all I'll see. So I've got a little bit of blue, and this helps me bring the blue from down here up to the top. You've got these little teeny tiny butterflies. Look at that. And you've also got some little orange ones. I'm going to stick with the blues, I think. Find some more. No, that's my lightning. Don't need that. Here. Right in front of you, Melanie. I can tell when I'm cross with myself because I call myself Melanie. I never liked that name when I was younger, and now I like it. I don't really care what I'll get called, to be honest. I've had worse, that's for sure. So I'm just going to lift up those wings like that. And have that little butterfly up there, that's better. So I'm going to turn it round now so that you can see it from the front. And then you can stand that up for you and you'll be able to see what we've just created. Andrew's just getting the camera for you. Look at that. It's coming. There you go. Isn't that super cute? Look. And it all stands up in the shape of an envelope like that. Right, let me show you the other things that I've made, because this is nice. And we'll have a look at these from over the top. So we go from the one that we've just done to this one. So this is just a single vase, but I've used almost like the diamond shaped vase and filled it with loads of flowers and balloons and butterflies, and then you've got the bunting further down. I just think they're really different to anything else that's out there. You've got the smaller version of that, so if you wanted to make a little gift tag, or you just like sending small cards, I think that's lovely. And I've just decorated the bottom of the vases with some of the little flowers. Then we've got our Rain and Shine merchants. Now this is a background that you will find on highlightcrafts.com under Quirky Bird, the old curiosity shop. This is the background that Lauren did for that one. So I've just done 2 of the houses, joined them together with the little Wellingtons, and then added some umbrellas and sunshines to the top. That's super cute. These would be nice in pictures as well. If you've got some really inexpensive white box frames, they'd look lovely. A little vase that's got a little matte layer, so I've used the second dye down, and then I've used the outside edge dye to add that red vase in, so a little bit simpler and a little bit cleaner. Then I've gone, not a message in a bottle, but a Rain Merchants in a jar, so you've got that one on there as well with the little girls at the side, and then just built that round, so less flowers and more clouds and balloons and umbrellas in that one. Then I've got a little single one here. And I've actually positioned the balloon so it looks like she's carrying it, dancing along. What a lovely time, I have to say, making these. Then I've got 4 together. So if I turn this over, I got one of the test tube ones, one of the second largest jars and a smaller jar, and one of the diamond ones. And I glued them all together in a row. And then I snipped the tops off the other ones and glued those over the top. And then I've cut them all again out of white and positioned them on the back and created the card shape out of it. I'm going to do this, or I will have done this in one of the shows, just to show you how you can do several all in a row, which I think looks really nice. And then I've gone absolutely crazy with this one and done a large jar, a test tube, and one of the bigger jars, and just filled it. But you imagine that on a scrapbook page. You could just do a scrapbook page with a photograph of a person and this and just the sentiment, I like people who smile when it's raining. I think that's lovely. But I have to say, and this is ridiculous after what I've just shown you, but this is one of my favourites. Look at that. Just simple. Just simple. So I would cut an oval out of a piece of card using one of my dies on my Scan and Cut. I'd stencil through with some ink just to add a little shadow behind there. I'd pop that on a small, probably a 4x4 card or a 5x4 card, and then a little sentiment over the top. And that I think is super, super, super cute. So that's my lovely class for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Can't wait to see what you make. So please post on our Quirky Bird Facebook page because we'd love to see what you're doing and share. And I will see you very soon. In fact, next time I'll see you with Quirky Bird, it's Christmas. Take care. Lots of love. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.